West Denver. Sleep deprived and heavily caffeinated.
All right, let's do this then.
This is the Jeff and Bill Show.
I don't agree with that.
They don't always agree, but hey, at least they have coffee.
Coffee.
And each other.
I love you, man.
God help us.
I want to bless him. We need all the help we can get.
Now here's Jeff Hunt and Bill Thorpe. The Jeff and Bill Show on News Talk 710 KNUS.
It is 7 a.m. in the Mile High City on this Tuesday, August 26, 2025. Good morning, Denver, Colorado. You've tuned in to the Jeff and Bill Show, News Talk 710 KNUS. I'm your co-host, Jeff Hunt, along with Bill Thorpe, bringing you the freshest insights, hottest takes from the right, left, and center. Coming up this hour, we're going to talk with a Minnesota State representative who happens to be in town. Dawn Gilman's going to join us. And I've just got questions for her because I want to understand Minnesota better. I think we have a crazier state than Minnesota. But then again, here's the governor of Minnesota.
Easy it would be to be a damn Republican. Oh, what should I wear today? This stupid freaking red hat. What should I say today? I don't know. Just make sure it's cruel. Who do we listen to? That guy. Oh, the felon in the White House? Yeah, listen to him and that will be fine. Now he's talking about burning flags. He's going to have flag burning or whatever. Because he knows there's a hell of a lot of flags with his picture on it that are going to get burned.
I don't know. I think it's a good. It's going to be an interesting discussion. Who has the dumbest governor, Colorado or Minnesota? So we'll get to Don here in a bit. But now it's time for news and comment with Blake Olson.
Blake Olson.
Blake Olson, news and comment.
Hey, good morning. It is Tuesday, 59 and mostly cloudy in Denver, expecting a high of 76 today. This portion of the news sponsored by Pastor Camp Heating and Air Conditioning at 303-777-1234 to learn more about special savings opportunities on Lennox equipment. Our top story, Miller time.
American citizens. It is an entity devoted exclusively to the defense of hardened criminals, gangbangers, and illegal alien killers and terrorists.
Stephen Miller, 47, is ordering the creation of Special National Guard units trained to deal with keeping public order. Monday's executive order comes as Trump has floated the idea of using the military to enforce law and order in American cities. He's done it in D.C., but as a special district, the rules are different than what they would be in other parts of the country. More Miller time.
The Democrat Party is not a political party. It is a domestic extremist organization. Look at Chicago. They've shut down the police department. They've handcuffed law enforcement. And as President Trump says, they have turned the streets of Chicago into a bloody killing field. Here in Washington, D.C., before President Trump launched the federal law enforcement liberation in D.C., there is a murder on the streets of this town every other day. Body after body after body after body. That was Washington, D.C. Residents were afraid to go to restaurants. They were afraid to go into entire neighborhoods. They were getting carjacked right and left, robbed and beaten. That was Washington, D.C. Now we're 2 weeks homicide free, the safest the city has ever been in its entire history.
Which is absolutely amazing. Police searching for two suspects here in the metro area after a shooting in North Glen. Investigators say the shooting happened at the Tamale Kitchen near 104th Avenue and Huron Street on Sunday night. The victim was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. Police are still investigating and do not believe there is an ongoing threat to the public. A man is facing charges after burning an American flag near the White House in protest of an order signed by President Trump.
No president can make a law, period. No Congress will make a law infringing on First Amendment rights. I'm burning this flag as a protest to that illegal fascist president that sits in that house.
The man said he was a combat veteran who was burning the flag in protest of the order for prosecuting of flag burning.
Here's another question, guys. Why is burning something considered a form of protected speech?
Yeah, I don't understand that either. I do not get that. It's confusing. I mean, there's lots of things I don't like. I don't like them on fire. That just seems like another level of, I don't know.
But what do you do to them if you don't like?
a level of hate. Like, I fundamentally believe that, I don't know, lots of religious books other than the Bible are in error, in serious error, driving people to hell. Mm-hmm. I'm not out there burning them.
It's interesting you bring that up because when I was in middle school, my best friend at the time and I jumped on our bikes and rode about 8-9 minutes away from the house to the parking lot of a large church that had made an announcement. It had been making the news cycle last couple of days. Again, this is the 80s is where we're going back to this one. Uh-oh. And we went down there to watch because you know what they were doing? They were
burning the Quran, right?
No, they were crushing all of those Satanist CDs, all that devil music that was corrupting the kids. Mm-hmm. They had it was a large vehicle. They couldn't get a steamroller. They wanted that. They were advertising that. They didn't get it, and I was rather disappointed because I wanted to see that. But they had a large vehicle that just drove back and forth. That was really like half the reason I went there. I'm like, I gotta see this happen. And they went back and forth, and they crushed all the CDs, and they feel like they had vanquished the devil and Satan's influence on the society after that. And what did they do? Crushed a bunch of CDs. That's what they did. That was their protest. This idea of destruction, I know, but this idea of destruction as a form of protest has gone on a long time. The issue is, as long as you break your own stuff. Ask Kid Rock shooting up his own Bud Light cans. Ask the people that crushed their Keurig dispensers because they were mad about that. That's okay. I see people
were mad about Keurig.
Yeah, I see people go ahead and burn their jerseys when their favorite player leaves or feels like they've disrespected their. Happens more in soccer than it does in football. To be fair, we're a little wired. We're wired a little higher.
Do you see it the same way? I don't know if I see it the same way. To take another person's sacred object, right? Like CD.
Hold on
a CD just seems different.
Hang on.
I'm going to go light a pallet of Qurans on fire.
The issue is this: that taking someone else's. No. You can't take someone else's. That's vandalism.
Right. No. But
if you have something, you go and purchase it. That is yours.
I understand that. The difference between your property and somebody else's property.
You burn your Quran.
But it seems to me that there's a difference between someone's sacred writings, sacred objects, and destroying those and then just running over a bunch of CDs with
the problem I would have is this is your use of the term sacred.
Right.
I would caution convoluting a nation with religion. I hold them differently. I hold them in different places in my heart and different places in my mind. I don't believe they are the same, nor should they be revered as the same. The places in which the state is revered on the same level as religion is like North Korea. That's where that happens. So I would caution that idea of talking about, sacred books and sacred images versus
but we're talking about First Amendment rights.
Yeah.
And we made an argument during the previous hour that that's a blanket cover to, you want to burn the Quran? Go ahead.
And I would defend anybody's right to burn the Quran.
Right.
In America.
But I'm wondering if, going back to my original question, why we feel it's appropriate to destroy what somebody deems as something sacred in an effort to send a message and then say that is protected free speech. Why we're not saying, we're putting a ban on someone's ability to say, I don't think this country's great. I think it's got problems. We got to address those problems. And then put that at the same level as lighting things on fire.
See, to me, the issue is where you do it. If you do it on your private property, I probably don't have a problem with it, depending on how big a fire it is. But in public, I just don't. I don't see why there can't be laws against that.
Here's a good question: is the burning of the cross by the KKK protected speech?
It is not in certain areas because it was used as intimidation and violence. That's the issue. When I come, here's the idea: let me get through it.
Speech?
But here's the issue, though. Here's the issue, okay? And this will be crystal clear, okay? I can stand on my driveway, and Blake's my next door neighbor, okay? Mm-hmm. And I can burn my flag on my driveway, and I'm not necessarily interfering with Blake's life, and he may not like that. However, what I can't do is I can't go onto Blake's yard, hold my flag in front of him and go, look at this! What are you going to do to me now? You better get out of this neighborhood. Now I'm using that symbol, one, on his property, two, as a form of intimidation. It's different when I'm burning my flag on my property or even my flag in the street versus me putting the flag on his property or the cross on his property and lighting it on fire. And that's what happened, is we would place crosses on people's property in front of their houses and light them on fire as intimidation. That's different, just like anything that I come and put in their yard.
What if you did it in public? What if we marched down Colfax with a burning cross?
I just want to see who's carrying it first, but
right.
That's what they're doing.
Right, but I mean,
again,
Trump's says you want to burn an American flag on your own property. There's no problem with that.
While I would find it offensive,
if it's going to incite violence,
here's the thing:
if it incites,
but it only incites violence because it makes you mad. And here's the idea: is he says it incites violence, and that at the beginning of his statement he says it's happening all over the country. Where's the violence? He starts his statement claiming that flag. No, I'm not. Hang on a sec. You're talking about him inciting violence. And I'm giving a direct example. President Trump starts out his statement saying that flag burning is happening across the country and then says exactly what you said. It incites violence and turns into riots. Where are the riots? Where are they? If his first statement is true, where's the proof of his second statement? That's all I'm looking for. Where is it? Or is he just making stuff up?
I want to go back to the original question. Why do we as a country believe lighting things on fire is a form of speech?
Goes back to the 1700s.
I don't know. Again, if I want to burn the thing in a form of protest, why shouldn't I? I mean, the idea that women during the suffrage movement burnt their bras, that was a form of protest. Mm-hmm. And again, it's the idea that I'm fed up with this. Who cares at that point? I don't understand why flame is your delineation
as you pointed out, carrying the cross down Colfax, lighting it on fire, protected speech.
Yeah. I would disagree with it and I would dislike it. But guess what? If I don't go down there, guess what happens? If I don't go down there, I don't get mad, I don't protest, guess what happens? It's a fart in an empty wood. No, if I don't pay attention to your anger and outrage and you lighting that on fire, if I do not give you the response you're looking for, you fail. That's the issue, is that every time you wrap yourself up and get so angry at this symbolism, you're playing into exactly what they want you to do.
Well, I think the issue is what is legal and what's not.
Yeah, it's totally legal. Well, according to the Supreme Court, at least for now. But we'll see, because, that's changed recently, some stuff. So we'll see what happens. But that'll be interesting to see if they really are about the foundational principles, and if they're constitutional originalists, this will be a tough one for them to twist. The idea that free speech then says we can't burn the flag. That'll be interesting. That'll be very interesting.
I'll play you a few seconds of Del Way. I agree with him on this.
I think anyone who burns an American flag, something ought to be done.
What are you going to do? Here we go.
Like the next time they want to do it, we ought to rap them in it and say, hey, burn this one.
That's how we handle it. Okay, we have a few more stories here, and then I'll give it back to you guys. The GOP-led House Oversight Committee is issuing a new subpoena for documents from the estate of Jeffrey Epstein. The committee is moving ahead with its probe into Epstein with a request for his will, any documents resembling a client list, any black books containing Epstein's contacts, flight logs, and alleged book of birthday letters from Epstein. Israel says that it's investigating after it carried out a deadly double strike on a hospital in Gaza. Former peace negotiator Gershon Baskin says that Israel is facing growing international condemnation over the attack. All right, wrestler Psycho Stu is in stable but critical condition following an attack at a pro wrestling event in California. That's according to a health update provided by his brother. The wrestler, whose name is Stuart Smith, was beaten unconscious by Raja Jackson. And Billy can give us some more insight on this. The son of former UFC fighter Quentin Rampage Jackson. It happened during an independent wrestling event last Saturday night. Video shows Jackson slamming Smith to the mat, straddling him and punching him in the head and face, even while he was already knocked out.
Yeah, this is atrocious. This is there's something really bad that happened here, and even Rampage Jackson Jr. is kind of, or whatever his name is, the kid of Rampage Jackson. Even Rampage has come out and said this is wrong. Said, I do not condone my son's overstepped the line. I hope the guy's okay. It's a professional wrestling match, and evidently the Rampage's son felt that he had been smacked in the head prior to the match. Now, there's something in the business called receipts, meaning if someone works too stiff with you or does something else outside the ring, you then take it out on the ring, and normally that's a tit for tat. Okay, you've hit me too stiff, I'm going to hit you too stiff. What happened was he's picking him up, and the move is, basically he's dropping him flat on his back onto the mat. Now, you do have to protect him when you're bringing him down, but the guy who's taking it also has to tuck his head. He didn't tuck his head. Back of his head hit the mat. He's knocked out. Okay? Now, the Rampage Jackson's son gets on top of him. So, again, he's mounting him like you would in a UFC fight and just starts hitting him in the head. Oh, and it is just boom, boom, boom. And it is 20 punches. And he's hitting them. And the thing for me is, one, how come nobody from outside the ring got in there sooner? That, you're not protecting him. Two, Rampage said that his son had suffered a concussion in recent weeks. Also, is not a fully trained professional wrestler and should not have been placed in this situation. All of which can be true, but it still does not discount his behavior. He went over the top. He got very physical. And in all honesty, what I was super disappointed in was that the other wrestlers that were there didn't come into the ring and also deliver their own receipts. Because you protect someone that beats up one of your own. I was disappointed in how the wrestlers acted more than he got out of control. But the length of time it took them to react, the length of time and how they restrained him was ridiculous. If you want to see something, this is on a side note, you want to see something that's somewhat funny, where we talk about somewhat as far as receipts, go outside, go onto YouTube and go search for when people from the crowd jump into a professional wrestling ring. Just search, because neither wrestler cares, and sometimes the one that goes hardest is the ref. The ref will punch you.
Is that right?
Yeah. So just, if you want to have some fun, to see, look at what happens. And what I didn't see in this situation was I didn't see that. That's what hurt me as far as the business. And everybody knows that I'm a pro wrestling fan. Yeah, this is atrocious. He way overstepped his bounds. And what I'm worried about is the guy in the ring that is injured, he's a vet. And he deals with PTSD. He deals with PTSD, and this is part of him getting better. This has been his path towards getting better. And now the place where he found his safe space, where he felt he could work out his anger but not really beat somebody up, ended up with him being beaten up, and he's in a hospital. So now they've destroyed his safe space. Yeah, the idea that was getting him better, where he was fighting the demons. Yeah, this is disgusting. Yeah, this ticks me off at another level.
The video is atrocious.
Yeah, it is. It's rough out there.
It's tough to watch. 58 in Centennial, 57 in Westminster, 59 in Denver. Jeff and Billy continue. Blake Olson, News Talk 710 KNUS.
Your KNUS forecast for the Denver metro area calls for perhaps a few showers early this morning. Otherwise, overall cloudy conditions with some fog. Temperatures mid and upper 50s. Mild, pleasant, cooler than average. Late August temps today through Thursday. Generally middle to a few upper 70s for highs. Upper 50s for lows. Daily showers and some thunderstorms. Weather is a service of L&L Heating and Air Conditioning. For quick, trustworthy, and dependable service, call L&L Heating and Air Conditioning at 720-851-1690. Visit them online at bestdenverhvac.com. That's bestdenverhvac.com. You'll be comfortable with L&L. I'm meteorologist Mark Huer in the 710 KNUS Weather Center.
All right, so we all know that we're pulling our hair out over Jared Polis in this state.
I love the fact that he has no hair, and you're talking about pulling hair. I mean, just,
well, losing mine.
It's
definitely
neat
gray
visual.
coming in
Yes,
as a result of it. I mean, all the time, right? From the Wolves to the special session that we're in right now that we don't need to be in. I often think, gosh, could it be any worse? And then I'm reminded, oh, yeah, Gavin Newsom, California. And then, of course, Tim Walz. Here's Tim yesterday.
Think of how easy it would be to be a damn Republican. Oh, what should I wear today? This stupid freaking red hat. What should I say today? I don't know. Just make sure it's cruel. Who do we listen to? That guy. Oh, the felon in the White House? Yeah, listen to him and that will be fine. Now he's talking about burning flags. He's going to have flag burning or whatever. Because he knows there's a hell of a lot of flags with his picture on it that are going to get burned.
I can't believe we were this close to that guy being the vice president of the United States. Oh, my gosh. The vitriolic hatred he has towards Republicans and conservatives is so very clear in that audio that came from yesterday. Well, joining us on the show now is Dawn Gilman. She actually serves in the House of Representatives in Minnesota, and I got so many questions about Minnesota. We'll get to cheerleaders in a second here. But Representative Gilman, thank you for taking time to join the Jeff and Bill Show.
Yes, good morning.
Thank you so much, you guys.
So you got to deal with that guy. What is it like to be a trusted conservative lawmaker in Minnesota that has to deal with that guy on a regular basis?
Well, I'll just say, we are happy that he's there because the alternative would be that he would be showing off his bulliness across the whole nation. So we're grateful that we want to help retire him though. So our hopes is that we can get a great candidate in there. We can retire him.
That's Dawn Gilman. She's a state rep in Minnesota, and we're talking about what they have to deal with in Minnesota. Now, I want to just do a compare and contrast, okay? So Colorado, we have taxpayer-funded abortions at any point for whatever reason, no restrictions whatsoever. Do you guys have that in Minnesota?
Yeah, we do have the same.
Oh, jeez.
Up to birth.
Yeah, same thing here. So do you get people traveling to Minnesota like we do here in Colorado?
Yes. Yeah, and they've taken the data reporting, the different things that they collect. So we believe that we do definitely have quite a few coming in from out of state and poor trafficked young ladies that are being brought in, over and over and over again. So that was their House File 1 back when I first got into the legislature. That was their top priority, is that bill, and it was very, very disheartening. I have 3 adopted children that were unplanned pregnancies, and I just couldn't wrap my head around it. It's heartbreaking.
And we're facing a special session here in Colorado right now to fill a $1.2 billion budget shortfall. And one of the things they absolutely made sure to protect at all costs, above everything else, abortion. Taxpayer-funded abortion to the tune of $4 million going to Planned Parenthood, even in light of the fact that it was cut at the federal level, even in light of the fact we face a $1 billion budget shortfall. They're going to make sure that gets protected. Now, are you guys, what's the breakdown in Minnesota? For instance, in Colorado, there's not a single Democrat elected state or a single Republican elected statewide. It's all Democrats and near super majorities in the House and the Senate with Democrat leadership. Do you have any Republican control in the state of Minnesota?
So this year we have, yes, we do have a tie in the House. A 67-67 tie. It has not happened in 50 years in Minnesota. So we stopped the trifecta, the Democrat trifecta, by turning out record numbers of voters, and we got a tie in the House. So we have a seat at the table this past year, and it's been very great. So we have, basically you'll have 2 chairs that are one Democrat, one Republican, and then co-chairs. So we are sharing every single committee. But for the first month, the Democrats did not show up to work. They got paid and they did not show up for the first 23 days of our session. And so because they were concerned that we would not seat one of their members. And so, yeah, it was a crazy start of the session, and we did go into a special session, and then we did have a horrendous, just a horrible, violent attack on our folks, and we lost one of our members and her husband, and yeah, it's been unbelievable this year.
Yeah, that was shocking. The lawmakers that were targeted, killed, taking place in Minnesota. Tell us about what the response has been like in your community since then. What has the perpetrator talked about since he's been arrested? When's the trial going to be? Kind of give us an update on what happened there.
Again, we just condemn any political violence. And what's been hard to see is that things have turned up. The rhetoric has turned up versus coming down. Our governor, prior to that happening, was demanding and asking the Democrats to be meaner. He's been just continuing his rhetoric around, Republicans and being fascists and all these horrendous things. And so, when this did happen, it's frightening. Like, you wake up in the morning and things have changed forever. So, what's happening now is just we've developed a system now where our whole legislature would be notified if there was any incidents. And I think across the nation, that's something that people should look at. It would be a phone call, a text, an email that would happen if there was something that was happening with a member and or some dangerous situation. So unfortunately, this gentleman that committed these heinous crimes is going to pay for his there will be consequences for what he did. And we don't fully know. Our local news, there was a confession letter, and only one news station reported it. The rest of them are not reporting what he wrote in that letter, thinking it was all bogus. But Alpha News they came out frontline and center with everything that was happening during that manhunt and everything. And so I'm unsure of when his trial will be happening, but he pled not guilty. So it's unbelievable.
And I think, wasn't it originally reported that it had to do with abortion issues? Was that the case? Was that the truth in that shooting that took place of those two lawmakers?
And again, I'm not sure what's fully been developed in that. That was the speculation, because on the list of people that was released, there were people from the abortion clinics. There were people from those areas. So I'm unsure if that's where they're going to tie it in or not under their investigations. But his confession letter didn't have anything to do with that. So they were, he was saying that Tim Walz, was putting him up to this. So
that's
unbelievable.
That's Dawn Gilman. She's a state rep in Minnesota, joining us this morning. Now, Dawn, I want to ask you about what happened. I mean, you were a state lawmaker when those shootings took place. I mean, I imagine you were concerned for your safety because they didn't find the guy right away, right? They were running around looking for him. You're a state lawmaker. Okay. This guy was targeting state lawmakers. What did you and your family do to protect your safety?
So our sheriff got a hold of me right away early in the morning and just advised that there was already a squad car at the end of our driveway, and then advised us to stay home. So all of the members in the House and the Senate were encouraged to stay home and until he was found. And so, I mean, it was graduation weekend, and all these things are happening, and we had to stay home, and that's what we did until Sunday night when he was apprehended on Father's Day. So again, and he was caught, back by his family farm, which is his property butts up right to my district. So only like a half hour or so away from where I live is where he was found. So
unbelievable, half hour away from where you live. That's frightening. So you live in Minnesota. We see Tim Walz. on the news all the time. What happens next for Tim Walz? And what happens next for the Democrats, you think, nationally? Do you see them revisiting Tim Walz? Is he going the Tim Kaine route? Remember Tim? No one remembers Tim Kaine. He was Hillary Clinton's pick for vice president. He's just kind of disappeared into the Senate. What should the Americans, what should Coloradans expect to happen to Tim Walz next?
Well, I think they just need to look at his own backyard. What did he do to Minnesota? You know, we blew through $18 billion surplus in one biennium, and then raised taxes by $10 billion, and drove us now into a fiscal cliff, like $6 billion deficit. So just in the committee that I co-chair of Human Services, we had to eliminate $1.3 billion. And that was just in one committee, one area of our budget. So people got to look at him and understand his true colors are going to continue to show, like he did yesterday when he's going on and yelling. And people are desiring affordability, reduced crime, and they want to enjoy one another. We want transparency. We want people to lock arms, you know, understand that we're not all the same people. And again, you know, the folks that are going to suffer in Minnesota, especially in our, you know, are the folks with disabilities. We want to create space that people that are getting these benefits, you know, are supposed to be getting benefits, and that will have them available. And so the Democrats need to wake up. It's hard enough to go on about your day. Some people are working 2 jobs and they're trying to figure out, do we pay for insurance for a vehicle or do we buy groceries? And again, with this new paid family medical leave that's coming to Minnesota, it is going to be unbelievably difficult. And the intended consequences that will be happening is that we will be losing more and more businesses. The migration of people leaving Minnesota is just at an incredible rate, and we need to really sit at the table and go, why are people leaving?
I mean, Representative, those are the exact same issues that we're facing here in Colorado, and that's why I wanted to have you on today, was for people to understand that when you have Democratic control, like we've seen with Jared Polis, Gavin Newsom, and Tim Walz, it's the same problems over and over and over again. Regulation goes up, businesses leave. Taxes go up, families leave. And then you have crime problems. Everything's more expensive as a result of it. And there's one single common denominator, and that is Democrat leadership of the state. Well, Representative, I sure appreciate your time today. That's Dawn Gilman. You can follow her on X at Dawn_Gilman. Dawn_Gilman. Sure appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thanks so much, guys. Have a great day.
All right. Everyone always asks, what makes advanced hair restoration different? Allow me to share, and along with some details on, get this, their once-a-year summer savings event. Guys, we're about to run out on this one. You got like 5 days left. Okay, and you can feel the weather changing. So you got to take advantage of Advanced Hair's summer savings event. First off, Advanced Hair stands by the results, and their before and afters are second to none. With Advanced Hair, your own natural hair is guaranteed to grow. Secondly, Advanced Hair combines top-rated physicians with modern technology, creating a concierge-quality experience that's hard to find elsewhere. Lastly, Advanced Hair's Advanced FUE begins regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. It's quick, it's simple, and it's easy. Now, if you have a flexible schedule this summer and you've been waiting for that special summer savings opportunity, well, it's here. Advanced Hair Summer Savings Event will get you the most hair for your dollar. It's their best offer ever. For details and to schedule your free consultation, call 720-459-HAIR, 720-459-HAIR. One-day treatment, life-changing results. Your new hair, guaranteed to grow. Before and afters at advancedhair.com, advancedhair.com. All right, we'll continue. Coming up next, the Cracker Barrel controversy continues as they have responded. Is it good enough to turn this thing around? I don't think it ever will. I think at this point they are sunk because, well, I'll give you the reasons why next. You're listening to the Jeff and Bill Show.
This is Denver's talk leader, News Talk 710 KNUS.
Welcome back to the Jeff and Bill Show. Billy and I are going to be live in person at IHOP tomorrow, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. live broadcast. Awesome. It's a ton of fun. There's a Maury Povich, Jerry Springer element.
Yeah, there is.
Sometimes people get literally served lawsuits at our live broadcast.
I can get off the chain in public, too. So,
and then Bill and...
Rich Wyatt, he and I went at it.
Yeah, Rich Wyatt. That
was good. We settled a Burke bit afterwards.
We're taking it up to the parking lot. I'll
exactly.
Gladly take it.
It was good. Yeah, it was good. So that was nice. We're going to be out there tomorrow. It's the I-25 Colorado Boulevard IHOP right there at the intersection, just north of where those two roads intersect. And we're going to be there from 6 until 10. Come on out and see us. Here's why you want to be there. Not because you need to see us. You want to be there because we're giving you the best breakfast deal in town. Hands down, nobody out there is going to top this for $7.10. Thanks to Mike Boyle for arranging that. They like Mike a lot better than like us, just saying. So Mike Boyle did this for us. $7.10 gets you your eggs cooked any way you want, hash browns, your choice of the meat. So that's sausage, ham, bacon, and the pancakes. They call them the International House of Pancakes for a reason. These pancakes are amazing. But all of that for only $7.10. You can throw on the coffee. The other part is it's cooked fresh and made to order. Where else are you going to find a freshly made breakfast? Eggs, hash browns, meat, and the pancakes the way you want for $7.10. You roll through the fast food place, you're not getting out of there for under 10. And you got to eat in your car, it's going to be all greasy. You go to the coffee place, it's just pre-wrapped stuff. You might as well have just gone to that vending machine. They're just overcharging you for what you could have done by just pushing A1 in the vending machine with a bunch of quarters. Okay, that's how that works. All you got to do here is come out with us, IHOP, and you are going to get a hot and fresh meal, cooked to order. I-25, Colorado Boulevard, tomorrow, 6 to 10. Come hang out with us. And you're going to want to spend this Saturday with Peter Boyles, 9 to 1 here on the station. Because, Jeff, we were talking earlier about the son of Rampage Jackson going ape on a guy and beating him up. I mean, just going crazy on him. Reference of being crazy, not any sort of a racial reference, just in case I get myself in trouble there. It's just beating the guy, and he's unconscious. There's a GoFundMe out there, raised over $60,000 for the man that has been injured. Peter Boyles is going to have the professional wrestler that pulled Jackson off the other guy and saved his life.
Wow.
Douglas Mallow. He goes by the name The Epic, is going to be joining Peter and talk about what it was like, what he saw. He was in the room, and what it was like trying to restrain a man who seemed intent on pummeling another pro wrestler to death. He's on the show with Pete this Saturday.
That's going to be awesome.
This is going to be
Pete
cool.
always brings in the best ones.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, this is going to be awesome.
So, you remember the time that IHOP for April Fool's Day rebranded IHOB?
Yeah.
Right,
yes.
that was fun,
Burgers.
lighthearted. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
And then Wendy's was like, imagine not getting pancakes right and you switching to burgers.
Yeah.
Or if you can't get pancakes right, why would you switch to burgers? It was hilarious, right?
Wendy's social media is on point. Yeah.
It was fun. Cracker Barrel is in the wrong space, and they responded yesterday. Here's their statement. In the last few days, if the last few days have shown us anything, it's how deeply people care about the Cracker Barrel. We're truly grateful for your heartfelt voices. You've also shown us that we could have done a better job sharing who we are and who we will always be. What has not changed and what will never change are the values this company was built on when Cracker Barrel first opened in 1969. Hard work, Bill. Family and scratch-cooked food made with care. A place where everyone feels at home, no matter where you're from or where you're headed. That's the Cracker Barrel you'll always find. They continue. The things people love most about our stores aren't going anywhere. Rocking chairs on the porch, a warm fire in the hearth, peg games on the table, unique treasures in our gift shops, and vintage Americana with antiques pulled straight from our warehouse in Lebanon, Tennessee. We love seeing how much you care about our old-timer. We love him too. Uncle Herschel will still be on our menu. Welcome back, Uncle Herschel's favorite breakfast platter, on our road signs and featured in our country store. He's not going anywhere, Bill, because he's family.
So he's just not on the sign anymore.
Right. While our logo and remodels may be making headlines, our bigger focus is still right where it belongs, in the kitchen and on your plate. Serving generous portions of the food you crave at fair prices and doing it with the kind of country hospitality that brightens your days and creates lasting memories. Meatloaf, chicken and dumplings, country fried steak, sides that taste like Sunday supper, and yes, the world's best pancake. They're all still here with a few new dishes joining the menu. Whether you're a longtime fan or a first-time guest, we want you to feel at home around our table. We also want to be sure Cracker Barrel is here for the next generation of families, just as it has been for yours. That means showing up on new platforms and in new ways, but always with our heritage at heart. They finish, we take that responsibility very seriously. We know we won't always get everything right the first time, but we'll keep testing, learning, and listening to our guests and employees. At the end of the day, our promise is simple. You'll always find comfort, community, and country hospitality here at Cracker Barrel. Uncle Herschel wouldn't have wanted it any other way. Thank you for caring so much. Come see for yourself the country hospitality that makes Cracker Barrel feel like home. Love, Cracker Barrel.
Man, I'm guessing my over-under on that one is 3 people. I think it took 3 people to write that, just based on...
no way.
Yeah, I think it's 3
people.
15. You think 15? Okay.
15!
Okay,
that went through so many hands.
Yeah, okay. Now, I can see that. Okay, 15, I think you're right on that one. See, I'm thinking the original... Okay, here's the idea. Cracker Barrel, we know this happened. There was some sort of a meeting. Don't know if it was Zoom or in person or whatever it was. Like, yeah, we stepped in it. This is awful. So they kicked it to the copywriters first. And my guess is 3 copywriters. On that, just based on the voice, my guess is 3 copywriters. And then you're right. 15 people beyond that had to approve it. And there's all sorts of little tweaks. You're right. Inside of it where I don't like this. Change this. Move this around. That sentence doesn't matter. I don't move the sentence here. Whatever. Then Jim's going to sign off on it. Fine. Whatever. Just to do that. That happened. Yeah, absolutely right. 15 people. But my guess is the core is 3 copywriters, just based on how that was placed. The other part for me, okay, this is stupid. But again, I'm about being stupid sometimes. Pancake? It was singular? They're pancakes. Who eats one? When they come to my table, it's not one. World best pancake? Just the one? What happens to the rest?
You know
the rest
what?
Suck?
I read that wrong. It's pancakes.
That was damn it.
It's pancakes.
That's what stuck. And again, here's the stupidness. That's what sticks out to my dumb brain. Like,
yeah.
What?
No, that was my mistake. And I'm a little...
You're a little under the weather.
little wild today. All right, but here's the real point, okay?
Yeah,
all right, your target audience is a 75-year-old woman.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay? She listens to Fox News.
Yeah.
All she's heard is Cracker Barrel went woke and got rid of the white guy off the label.
Yep.
Okay? Do you think that message written there is going to penetrate the noise and get down to the 75-year-old core customer that thinks your company's gone woke? Do you think that changes anything in their world?
No, not at all.
No. What you need to do is hire someone like Chuck Norris to come in and go, I love the new Cracker Barrel.
Yeah.
You need to go straight at that pure demographic, hit it. You know, Kid Rock. You can bring Kid Rock in.
Oh yeah, you could. And here's and again, you've run an advertising agency and you get it. And what I appreciate is the idea of using the celebrity person to introduce the new Cracker Barrel. And you're right. It's an older audience, and they're not going to want change. Here's something that I thought was really genius that you did when you and I did our little field trip to McDonald's, is you were looking at the McDonald land and the retro Happy Meal and then comparing that imagery to how McDonald's is decorated. And you're like, look at the bright colors. Look at this.
Nobody likes walking in and eating at McDonald's right now.
Yep, and it looks
like a gulag.
It does. It looks like a prison. It looks like a great prison. My favorite was the McDonald's that we went to, had pictures of rocks on the wall. Not real rocks, not pictures of anything else, pictures of rocks. That, okay, if you go to your friend's house and all over his house he has pictures of rocks, you're like, we got to talk. There's something here I'm not certain I know about you. Now, that's the genius here is that you saw, Jeff, is they should bring someone in to say, let me introduce you to the new Cracker Barrel. Now, when you walk in, things are going to look a little different. Yes, we've got new paint on the walls, new this, but it is the same menu you've loved for decades. We've done this. Oh, and check out these new menu items that you're going to want to, and your kids are going to love them. You know, they're going to like this and this and this. We're leaning it in so it can be the family experience you grew up with, but we're not changing anything. However, we are doing a little bit of a touch-up. And you do it the thing like, you've done touch-ups and a little bit of remodeling in your house when you've moved or you've done anything just like it. That's what we're doing. We're changing up a little bit, but it's still the same great place. And then you walk them through the idea that, see, yeah, the colors are still here. You know, Herschel's still here, but it's a little bit of a different look. And the menu's going to change a little bit, but here's the new stuff we got.
Who was the diabetes dude?
Oh, Wilford Brimley.
Yes. But he's not alive anymore.
No, he's not.
If I was the executive of Cracker Barrel, he'd be my first call.
Yes. He would be.
If he was
aces.
still alive.
Yes.
Just be like, we don't get this thing wrong.
And this is what we're going to do.
Come on down to the Cracker Barrel.
Oh, yeah. He would be fantastic at that.
He would be great.
Yeah.
All right, we've got a lot to cover. You're listening to the Jeff and Bill Show.
Better come see us at IHOP tomorrow. This is Denver's Talk Leader, News Talk 710 KNUS. I want pancakes.
Well, look, you work hard all year. You deserve to be rewarded. So this Labor Day, Mountain High Appliance is rolling out the best price of the year at all of their showrooms. Get over to Mountain High today for incredible savings on today's top brands. Save up to $4,000 on select GE Profile kitchen packages. And their price match guarantee ensures you are getting the best deal. When you think appliances, think locally owned Mountain High Appliance. That's amazing. Save up to $4,000.
Yeah. The thing is,
gosh, get over there.
They know how to get the best possible deals. They have the ability, and they have some. I don't know who they know, but the crazy thing is, when I'm dealing with Mountain High Appliances, they always seem to have additional rebates for things that I'm always surprised about when we go and get appliances there. So they're going to save you more money than anywhere else out there. If you're going to go shopping for Labor Day, you got to upgrade that kitchen. Do it there. Absolutely.
8 o'clock hour, we're going to be joined by Ken DeGraff. He keeps putting time out down at the state capitol. He and Billy would be best friends. All right, you're listening to The Jeff and Bill Show.
This is Denver's talk leader. We are KNUS.